police. They compiled a psychological profile of the suspect. Highly intelligent and meticulous, no financial or sexual motive, just the thrill of control. Stopped victims for weeks or months. Before striking, had access to private information, addresses, schedules, even how they slept. Left behind eerie calling cards, black and white photos of the victims, taken in secret. This was not a typical serial killer. This was someone who was always watching. Then, in late 2018, a chilling discovery was made. Rachel Simmons' final words. Rachel Simmons, 27, was found dead in her Phoenix apartment on November 12, 2018. Just like the others, her face was carved into a smile. But what made her case unique was what she had told her sister just days before her disappearance. Rachel had confided that she kept finding Polaroid photos of herself, pictures of her sleeping. She had no memory of anyone taking them. 3 days later, she was found dead, and beside her body, police found a Polaroid picture of Rachel's corpse. The words written on the back, "You smile so beautifully in your sleep." Then came Emily Carter. Unlike the other victims, Emily was a former Marine. She had advanced combat training and a house full of security cameras. On April 3, 2019, she woke up to 3 slow knocks at her front door. She checked her security system. Nothing. But when she switched to her indoor cameras, her blood ran cold. A man in a black hoodie was standing at the end of her hallway, grinning. Emily grabbed her gun and turned on the lights, but he was gone. The only thing she found, a Polaroid photo taped to her front door. A picture of herself, asleep in her bed. Emily immediately called the police. Unlike previous cases, her security footage had captured his face. But when the FBI ran his image through facial recognition databases, there was no match. No records, no driver's license, no birth certificate. It was as if he didn't exist. Or worse, like he was someone else entirely. After Emily's encounter, the killing stopped. For 3 years, there were no new victims, no strange photos, no bodies with eerie smiles. Then, in 2022, a woman in Dallas, Texas made a terrifying report. At 2:47 a.m., she woke up to soft knocking at her door. When she checked the peephole, she saw a man in a black hoodie, grinning. She didn't open the door. She backed away. The knocking stopped, but the next morning, she found a black and white photograph on her doorstep. A picture of herself, taken from inside her own house. She moved out the next day. The smiling man was never caught. To this day, his true identity remains unknown. Was he a highly skilled stalker and killer? Or was there something far more disturbing about him? The FBI still considers the case open and active. But one thing is certain. If you ever hear 3 slow knocks at your door in the middle of the night, don't answer, because some smiles hide nightmares. If you ever hear 3 slow knocks at your door in the middle of the night, don't answer, because some smiles hide nightmares. It started with a knock, 3 soft, deliberate taps. Julia Martinez glanced at her phone at 12:47 a.m. Her apartment was on the 3rd floor of a secured building in downtown Los Angeles. No one should have been at her door. She hesitated, her heart hammering against her ribs. Slowly, she walked toward the peephole, and then she saw him. A man in a black hoodie, standing completely still in the dimly lit hallway. His face was pale, too pale, and his lips were stretched into a grin that didn't look human. Julia didn't open the door. She took a step back. And then, the knocking stopped. Relief flooded her chest. Maybe it was a prank. Maybe she imagined it. But when she turned around, her breath caught in her throat. The man was inside her apartment, standing right behind her. That was the last time anyone saw 28-year-old Julia Martinez alive. When police arrived at her apartment the next morning, they found her front door locked from the inside. No signs of first entry, no fingerprints, no struggle. The only clue left behind, a black and white photograph taped to her bedroom mirror. A picture of Julia, asleep in her bed. The truly disturbing part, the photo had been taken from inside her room. Julia's case wasn't the first. Between 2016 and 2019, young women across California, Nevada, Arizona, and Texas began vanishing under eerily similar circumstances. No bodies, no evidence, no signs of first entry. It was as if they had simply disappeared into thin air. Then, on August 19, 2017, the first body was found. Lisa Montgomery, the first body. Lisa Montgomery, 25 years old, had been missing for 6 days before hikers found her in a remote wooded area outside Las Vegas. Her body was fully clothed, no visible injuries, no defensive wounds. She was sitting upright against a tree, eyes wide open, staring at nothing. It was as if she had been placed there, gently. The only thing out of place, her lips had been cut into a permanent, exaggerated smile. Inside her jacket pocket, investigators found a black and white photo of her house. The photo had been taken from across the street. On the back, written in red ink, were the words, "Smile for me." The case instantly gained national attention, but what police uncovered next made it even more terrifying. Security footage showed Lisa shopping at a grocery store. Just 6 hours before her body was found. She was alone. No one followed her. She got into her car, drove away, and then was never seen again. How did she vanish in broad daylight? How did she end up in a forest miles away? And the most chilling question of all, why was she smiling? As the disappearances continued, the FBI took over the case.